June is busting out all over, and it is a gorgeous morning here at Portside. Look at the sun, and we hope we have tons of days like this in the summer ahead. I know that the city is planning on some great days, and they have plenty of great activities scheduled throughout the month of June. We're going to look at some of those right here and right now on this June episode of Portsmouth Now. Welcome to this June 2018 episode of Portsmouth Now. I'm your host, Lauer. Now that June is here, that means school is getting out, and that means finding things for the kids to do until school resumes in the fall. The Portsmouth Department of Parks, Recreations, and Leisure Services is sponsoring day camps throughout the summer. There's also swimming, events in the park for the whole family, there are events for senior citizens, and of course there's lots of entertainment events taking place. Here's Mark Furlo, the Director of the Department, to tell us what's coming up this June. Mark, welcome to Portsmouth Now.
Thanks for having me.
So I know Parks and Recreations is in charge of so much that's happening this summer. What about things like day camps, things for kids now that school is out?
Sure, we offer our popular summer race summer camp program at 7 different sites. We have programs at Churchland Elementary, Churchland Academy, John Tyler Elementary School, Neighborhood Facility, Cavalier Manor, and then we have our teen camp at J.E. Parker and our special needs camp at the Craddock Recreation Center.
Okay. These run throughout the summer? Is it a 1-week thing, a 2-week thing?
It's a 9-week program.
9-week program.
Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 5:30, and some of our sites offer before and after camp care. So if you have to get to work, especially early, you can look for one of those sites that has that before and after school program. And all that information can be found on our website, and also in the community program guide that we send out. I'm sorry, I'm not holding it up right here. The community program guide that we mail out to every household in the city of Portsmouth. And you can also pick these up at the libraries, the rec centers, the museums, and City Hall.
That gives us some information on what's going on with kids. How about senior citizens?
Yeah, so we've got a couple trips planned coming up soon. In June, they're going to Ahoskie, North Carolina, to the meat market. And then in July, we've got another trip planned for the Spirit of Norfolk. So, and then we also have all our regular classes and programs that normally go on at the senior station on Clifford Street, like the sewing, the computer classes, we have some driving classes and stuff like that.
Is that center open? Is that open throughout the week? Just certain days, hours?
Yeah, it's open Monday through Friday, and you can check our website for the hours of operation.
Now, what about pools, swimming, that sort of thing?
Yeah, if it's anything like today, summer's going to be really hot, and you need to cool off. So we operate two pools. One at Cavalier Manor Park and one at the Sportsplex, and admission to those pools is $1. Then we also have the Splash Park, which is located at Neighborhood Facility or Columbia Park, and admission is free to our Splash Park. And those they'll be operating on the weekends, beginning Memorial Day weekend, and then once school gets out, we'll go to our regular schedule, which is Tuesday through Sunday. The pool's closed on Monday for maintenance, and the Splash Park. So, and it's open 1 to 5:30.
Now, I know there's entertainment, special events, things that are taking place throughout the summer. Tell us about some of that stuff.
So this June, we're starting our movies in the park at City Park, and those movies will start at 7 o'clock every Saturday. And they'll be held in the amphitheater over by the golf course there, the links. So starting June 16th, we have The Nut Job, The Nut Job 2, Nutty by Nature, Despicable Me 3 on June 23rd, and June 30th is the Lego Ninjago movie. Also in June, our popular Sunset Thursday concert series starts again.
Okay, now that's it's been held down here, but you're moving it this year?
Yeah, they're building a new portside structure over here at Portside, so we had to temporarily relocate for this 1 year. We're moving down the street to High Street Landing, so it'll still be on the water. The schedule for this June, we're starting off on June 7th, and the concert starts at 6:30 on Thursdays. June 7th, we'll have the original rondelles, which is always popular. And then on June 14th, we have Romanta. June 21st, Soul Intent, and June 28th, Phase 2. So we're excited about that lineup.
What time of the night does that begin? About
6:30. It goes 6:30 to 9. We're also working with Legends Brewery to provide the beverages for the concert too.
Great.
So we're excited about that new partnership, and Legends offers some really good products.
Great. So that sounds like a great way to sort of start the weekend early. Are there any festivals, anything like that going on?
Yeah. We also have our Seawall Festival, which starts June 8th. The festival goes June 8th and 9th. That's Friday and Saturday. Our big headliner on Saturday is Heatwave, national recording artist. They'll be going on at 8 o'clock, and they'll play till 9:15, and then we'll have you can enjoy the fireworks. You can walk over to the seawall and see the
Fireworks.
yeah.
Great. All right.
One other thing is we have we're doing a concert at Willett Hall with the United States Coast Guard Band.
Wow.
It's a ticketed event. Tickets are free, but you have to go online and get a ticket. You can get information on the tickets at the Willett Hall website, or you can link to that off the Parks and Rec website.
And what date is that?
That's going to be June 6th, and the show starts at 7 p.m. Wednesday, June 6th.
Oh, sounds good. Well, thanks so much for joining us, Mark, and be sure to check out all these events and activities and camps and things being sponsored by the Department of Parks, Recreation, and Leisure Services.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. On a beautiful day like today, who doesn't want to get out and enjoy the sunshine? Maybe take a boat out on the water or visit one of the parks here in Portsmouth. We have a number of parks. There's Paradise Creek Park in Craddock. There's Hoffler Creek in Churchland. And of course, there's Portsmouth City Park. And if you're a golfing enthusiast, weather like this is just a godsend. And there are 2 golf courses here in Portsmouth. And they have events taking place throughout the year. Here's Adam Relan to tell us about what's going on this June and throughout the summer at both of the golf courses here in Portsmouth. Adam, thanks for joining us today. Now, I was told that you are sort of the guy who is in charge, in the know about all things related to golf in the city of Portsmouth. So tell us what's going on at the 2 golf courses that we have here.
All right, well, first of all, we have Bidawee Golf Course, which is our 18-hole championship, Curtis Strange, Tom Clark design. And then our other golf course is also Tom Clark, Curtis Strange redesign. It is the Links at City Park. It's our executive course.
So do you have things going on at the golf courses this summer?
We do. Our 3 junior camps at Links at City Park. We have the first one is June 25th through the 28th. The next is July 9th through the 12th. And we finish up our 3rd camp July 30th through August 2nd.
And those are junior camps, so are those geared towards youth?
Youth, ages 8 and up. Some kids a little bit younger, depends on the child, but it's a lot of fun. 4 days in a row of fun golf.
That's great. What are the, I know one of the things you've been offering out at City Park is foot golf?
We're a AFGL Foot Golf League certified golf course.
Oh, okay.
It's just like golf, but with your foot and a soccer ball. The holes are much larger than a normal standard golf cup. They're not on the greens, they're adjacent to it. There's separate tee boxes and flags. There's a very small learning curve, but it's a lot of fun, and it's getting people into golf that have never been to the golf course.
Wow. Is it attracting crowds?
It's getting bigger and bigger. We had good numbers last year. Pleasantly surprised with the turnout last year.
That's great.
It's typically more popular when school's out.
Yeah, okay. All right. Any other events that come up on a regular basis in the summer at the golf
Friday
course?
nights at Bidawee. It's we have big crowds, 80 to 120 people. 5:30 shotgun starts. We have 2 separate 9-hole tournaments, a front 9 and a back 9. It's only $20 per person, includes golf cart and prizes. You can sign up for your 4-person team. There's no golf handicaps required. Or you can sign up as an individual, and we'll be happy to pair you with a fun group to play with.
And what about looking ahead, like towards the end of the summer, early fall? Any big events, tournaments, or anything like that?
We do. We have the Portsmouth City Amateur, which we've moved to September 1st and 2nd this year. It is thought to be the longest running city-run golf tournament in the country. Started here in Portsmouth in 1926.
Now, people want information. Is there a number to call?
Absolutely.
Website to visit?
Junior golf, go ahead and call our Links at City Park Pro Shop at 465-1500. For Bidawee, for the Friday night mixers, the ladies only clinics on Thursday nights, golf tee times, call 393-8600, or you can go to Portsmouth or portsvagolf.com, or you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter.
Fantastic. Well, thanks so much for joining us, Adam.
Thank you.
Thanks. When we return to Portsmouth Now, we'll look at more events scheduled for this June, so don't touch that dial. We'll be right back.
There's a place where imaginations are sparked, where curiosity's reward is laughter, where history comes to play, and entertainment choices are many. With all tunnels now open in both directions, Portsmouth is now so very easy to reach. We invite you to eat, play, shop, and stay. All tunnels are now open. Rediscover your neighbor, Portsmouth.
Everybody's talking about Portsmouth.
Everybody's talking about Portsmouth.
Everybody's talking about Portsmouth. Woo!
Everybody's talking about Portsmouth.
Woo!
Everybody.
Everybody's
Everybody's talking about me. Everybody's talking about Portsmouth.
Everybody's talking about Portsmouth.
Welcome back to our June 2018 episode of Portsmouth Now. I'm strolling through Old Town near Portside on an absolutely gorgeous summer morning. Now, Old Town, with its huge collection of historic homes, is a great place to stroll any day of the week, but particularly on the weekends and particularly on Saturday because there are lots of great events taking place. For instance, every Saturday morning from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. there's the Old Town Farmers Market. That's held in the corner of Court Street and High Street, and it's spread out around the circumference of the old courthouse, currently the home of the Portsmouth Art and Cultural Center. You'll find great fresh meat, fresh poultry, fresh seafood, fresh vegetables, fruit, baked goods, lots of great things to eat. It's a great place to hang out, grab a quick breakfast, maybe shop for the coming week, and talk to people and just sightsee. Now, at the same location, the Portsmouth Art and Cultural Center, on the first Friday of every month, there's a free concert in the courtyard. Free music, free drink, free food, and free admission to the museum on the first Friday evening of every month. And if you're into antiques and flea markets and finding that hidden treasure or that piece that would just look perfect in your home, be sure to check out the Old Town Antique to Flea Market. That's held the first Saturday of every month from 9 a.m. to about 1:30 or 2 p.m. in the Middle Street Garage. Joe Elder has had a long, extended career as an antique appraiser, and he's here to show us something that he found one lucky Saturday morning when he visited the Old Town Antique to Flea Market. Welcome to Portsmouth Now.
Thank you, Rob. Thanks for having me today.
Glad to have you. Now, the Antique to Flea Market, the first Saturday of every month, you were
Correct.
there and you found something, and you know what you're talking about because you've made a career of being an antique appraiser and you know the history behind things. You found quite a little treasure there.
My wife and I go just about every month. It's sort of scheduled to go and check it out because you don't ever know what you're going to find. But a place like Old Town Antiques and Flea Market is where things potentially could show up. And so you want to make sure that you go regularly so that you can have a chance to see what shows up. And it's all about being there all the time. In this particular case, I noticed this chair off into the distance and basically beelined over to it and bought it. It was made by a Windsor chair maker named John Letworth. John was born in 1759, died in 1843. He was known by other chair makers to have achieved greatness among his fellow craftsmen. His highly productive Philadelphia turned Windsor chairs and settees were all produced in basically a two-story, 800 square foot shop that was on South 3rd Street between Walnut and Chestnut, basically 2 blocks away from Independence Hall.
Wow.
So you can imagine the history that walked by his door or into his doors throughout his chair-making history. Philadelphia was the king of Windsor chair making. They were the first American chair makers of this type. The earliest chairs were made around 1750, and they went through various stages of design. This one is called a bowback Windsor. It's a side chair. Typically these chairs are made out of about 3 or 4 different woods. The seat is just called a saddle seat, and this is made out of 1 board poplar. And one of the ways you can tell a period chair from a reproduction is all period Windsor chairs are made out of, the seat is made out of 1 piece of wood. Where today, if you flip these chairs over, you'll look at it, you'll see that they're like 4 or 5 pieces of wood glued together, and then that's how they form the saddle seat. But it's not, it's not 1 piece. And back at that time in our history, big trees were plentiful. Right. So there's no reason to be gluing up boards, to make a chair. This particular style is also considered bamboo turnings, which is the legs and the stretchers. They have a bamboo form. And the bow back, basically, as you can see, it's a completely bowed back. Yeah. And the other woods used on these chairs, typically the legs would have been used as either oak or maybe maple, the harder wood. The actual bending, which was done by steam, was woods like hickory, and I believe ash. Same for the turnings in the back. So a lot of Windsor chairs were painted, and that's because they were taking a variety of woods together, and painting it made it all come together. Also, it made it a bit more decorative because they used numerous colors to decorate. And the old houses during the colonial periods used very bright colors. This particular chair, we know was made around 1800. He worked until 1807, so that would have been the latest date that this chair could have been made. But we're pretty sure that was about the period of time. The early bowbacks were made as early as 1780. There are 10 of his chairs and settees on display at Independence National Historical Park in Philadelphia. Wow. He also made a chair for Bishop William White, and William White's house was almost adjacent to his workshop. But William White was the rector of Christ and St. Peter's churches in Philadelphia, chaplain to the Continental Congress. Oh, wow. And the most important factor is that if you go to the Thomas Jefferson, his notes, the pages that he wrote, there is a listings in volume 32 in June or July of 1800, where he ordered 6 of these bowback chairs for his home in Monticello and or Poplar Hall. So we know Jefferson ordered at least 6. There is reference to another 6, but the reference got a little mixed up on who actually received the other 6 chairs. But that's pretty important that Thomas Jefferson actually owns these chairs, and this is the identical chair.
What would this be valued at?
Well, let's just talk about ups and downs of what makes something valuable. Obviously, as a historical piece of furniture, it's fairly valuable because of who the maker is. It is branded, if you want to flip it over, Rob. Right here is a partial branding, which is the worth part. Can you see it?
Yep.
So we can only see the worth part of the name, but we know, because I've studied his actual branding, it's identical. So we know for sure that it is what it is. If you want to flip it over again, this is very faint, hard to see, but this piece of paper right here was a pass, and it was actually just we believe this chair actually traveled at some point in time by railway, and it was by the Pennsylvania Reading Express, which was the first railroad in Philadelphia. Knowing that it was by the chair maker who made Jefferson chairs and no other provenance to go with it, I would put a replacement cost on this at around $1,200 to $1,500.
Your recommendation to someone who maybe just likes pretty things, they like antiques but they know nothing about it, how would they assess something like this? If you go to the antique flea market and you just see something that just speaks to you, just buy it?
I always recommend people to go by how important it is to them, and then how much is it worth to you as an individual to own it.
Thanks for joining us, Joe.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for sharing this with us, and good luck in future excursions to the flea market.
Well, we hope to see you out there.
When we return to Portsmouth now, we'll look at more events coming up this June, so stay tuned. We'll be right back.
There's a place where imaginations are sparked, where curiosity's reward is laughter, where history comes to play, and entertainment choices are many. With all tunnels now open in both directions, Portsmouth is now so very easy to reach. We invite you to eat, play, shop, and stay. All tunnels are now open. Rediscover your neighbor, Portsmouth.
Everybody's talking about Portsmouth.
Everybody's talking about Portsmouth.
Everybody's talking about Portsmouth.
Everybody's talking about Portsmouth. Woo!
Everybody's talking about Portsmouth.
Woo!
Everybody's
Everybody's
talking about me. Everybody's talking about Portsmouth. Everybody's talking about Portsmouth.
Welcome back to our June 2018 episode of Portsmouth Now. Now, we've shown you events that you can go out in the park and golfing, things you can do outside. But you know, summer is also a great time to catch up on reading. Kids have to read special books for school. Adults like to find a good beach read. And one of the great places you can visit throughout the summer is a branch of the Portsmouth Library. So let's head over to the Manor branch, where we'll find out about some of the events taking place this June for kids and for everyone else. I'm joined by Jackie Annis, who's a library associate here at the Manor branch of the City of Portsmouth Libraries. Welcome, Jackie.
Thank you very much.
Well, school's out. Kids have lots of free time, and some of them like to read.
Yes, they do.
So what can they find here at the libraries?
Well, at our libraries, we have a summer reading program which starts on June the 18th, a Monday. And we have all sorts of things they can do. We have events for children, for teens, for adults also. We call this the Louise and Marvin Fenster Summer Reading Program. It was named in memory of his wife, who was a Rappaport, and they have been funding us ever since, over, I think it's 24 years now.
Wow.
And we also get funding, I wanted to mention it, from the Portsmouth Public Library Foundation and also from the Friends of the Portsmouth Public Library. So we have crafts for the children. We have story time for the young kids. For the teens, each location has 6 programs throughout our 6-week period. And the teens also are, if they are going to sign up for our teen reading program, then what they're going to be doing is reading 3 books over the summer. And then they will win a prize, and they have a chance to put their name in for a grand prize, which I believe are some wireless earphones. The adults, the same thing. They will also read 3 books and have a small prize and then a chance at a larger prize. So besides the programming and the fun things that they do, we also have some special performers who will be coming to the different branches. And you know, anything that the child wants or the adult or the teen wants, we can pretty much provide. We understand that with the children, let me just say, with their programming, we have a little series of registration forms that have 30 little activities that they can do, and they pick 25 out of the 30 to do. They're different ages, different for the younger, very young, and then for the little older ones. And they will also win a little prize at the end. So we like to give them a little bit of incentive. The reasoning for this is we don't want to have what we call summer slide. They've done studies. They've done studies on children and found that with not being in school for almost 3 months, they actually lose ground. They can lose up to a couple of months of what they've learned. So library.
So this is just from not reading?
This is from not reading, not being engaged.
Just like exercising that part of your brain.
Right, exactly. Not exercising. And, you know, realistically, they notice this more so in low-income families, but this happens not just in low-income families.
Everyone.
It's just in everyone. So the idea is to let's have some fun things that they can do. Let's get them into the library. But, you know, we want them to read. We want them to read also. So this is why we have the story time, and we have the events for the teens, the fun events, as well as the books that they read. They get to choose what they want to read, but we try to do a big advertising for this, and the city helps us greatly with that. We also have our Navigator, which is our quarterly activity book. I think it's called Program and Events Magazine, and that will be out very soon. We have this is not the current edition of it, but we'll have one out for the summer and for the fall, and it will list everything that we are doing at every single branch. It's very splashy, very attractive, and we also give these out to new patrons who come into the library. But anyone can also go onto our website, which is www.portsmouthpubliclibrary.org, and you will see the same items there. I would also say if you see this program and you don't want to do any of that, call the main library 393-8501, and anyone can help you with that.
I guess what a real mission is to get people to, especially young people and kids, to realize that reading is fun. If you like to read, I can't imagine going a day without reading. It's just part of your life, like speaking or watching a television. It's something you do.
Right. We always hope that the families, the parents, the caregivers will be on board with pushing their children to do this. It seems to be maybe when many children get into the middle grades, the middle school, that it falls off sometimes a little bit. We still see those children that I've seen from the time they were small, and now they're getting older, and they've always read, and they probably always will. But with some of the children, it's finding the right book. And we're always willing to help them find whether it's a graphic novel, whether it's something...
well, a graphic novel. I mean, who would have thought, when I grew up in the 70s,
comic book.
Who would have thought that a 200-page comic book would be something you'd find in the library, and the librarians would be pushing it.
Right.
But it's still reading.
It's still reading, and there are a lot of actual nonfiction comic books, if you will, graphic novels that they can also read. But it's just even the young adult group. There were not that many when I was younger. There were not that many books around written primarily for young adults, and now even adults are reading these.
It's a huge market.
It's a very big market. It's a very big market. And if I may, I would like just to mention that if you would like to go on, we also have, we'd like you to look at our new website. Because it has been redone, and there's a lot to browse. We have a digital provider, R&B Digital. And with your Portsmouth Public Library card, you can download ebooks, e-audiobooks, and magazine. One of our big things is Hoopla, and that's a digital provider. And with your card, you can borrow ebooks, audiobooks, and stream movies and music 24 hours a day.
Wow.
So we have something for everyone.
Thank you for taking time from your busy schedule to tell us about it.
Thank you. It's very exciting.
Libraries have changed over the years. They really have. So check out the Portsmouth Public Library, any locations. We have the downtown main library, Churchland. This is the Manor branch next to Wilson High School.
Correct.
And then there's the Craddock
branch.
All
yes.
right. Great. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Well, that's it for our show today. If you'd like to find out about any of the activities that we featured on today's show, simply log on to www.portsvaevents.com. And then come to Portsmouth, where if you give us a day, we'll give you a vacation. I'm Rob Lauer. Join me next month for a July episode of Portsmouth Now.
Everybody's talking about Portsmouth.
Everybody's talking about Portsmouth.
Everybody's talking about Portsmouth.
Everybody's talking about Portsmouth. Woo!
Everybody's talking about Portsmouth.
Woo!
Everybody's
Everybody's
talking about me. Everybody's talking about Portsmouth.
Everybody's talking about Portsmouth.
There's a place where imaginations are sparked, where curiosity's reward is laughter, where history comes to play, and entertainment choices are many. With all tunnels now open in both directions, Portsmouth is now so very easy to reach. We invite you to eat, play, shop, and stay. All tunnels are now open. Rediscover your neighbor, Portsmouth.